Be careful when you're using dark tools.
Hey everyone, Steve here from SJ Woodworks. This week we're looking at a piece of wood here. It's about 6 by 6 by 4 inches of ambrosia maple, and I've kind of got an idea of what I want to make out of it. I confess I'm not experienced enough to always make my ideas exactly turn out the way I want them to, but I'm thinking of some kind of form that's, you know, not too much like a hollow form with a really tiny opening, because I don't have any good swan neck hollowing tools yet. But some kind of form with a lip that could look good, and if it changes along the way, then that's the way it goes. But ambrosia maple, we're going to put it on the lathe and see how it goes. Okay, we went ahead and rounded this out on the bandsaw and got it chucked up on a woodworm screw here. I brought up the tailstock for just a little extra support. The woodworm screw is really for, you know, anything this size is kind of my favorite way to chuck things up at first for roughing it out, because it's really secure and it's really easy to get it centered. You just drill a hole and you screw it in there and put on your chuck and you're good to go. So let's get this rough to get it perfectly round, and then we'll start working on the shape. Okay, just for a general idea of what I'm thinking with this, we're going to have a tenon on this side, so, you know, somewhere around here we'll have a tenon that that takes up this part, and then we're going to start small on that end. This will be the bottom, the top will be up here. I want to taper up from pretty small to, you know, right around here. I want it to kind of be at its maximum diameter. And then when we get right up to here, I want it to close right in just a little bit and give us a little lip right here at the top. So, you know, if we watch this part right here, we'll make this the maximum diameter, tenon here, and we'll see what kind of shape we can get out of it. And we'll see if it comes out just how I'm thinking, or how it comes out. Here we go. Okay, just to get you caught up here, we have cut a tenon that matches the jaws of the chuck that I'm using, 2-inch jaws. And we're going to start roughing out a shape here by just trying to remove a lot of this wood. And I'm going to use the square carbide cutter still for this, because it seems to be the king of just removing volume of wood, and then we'll get to something else for shaping. So let's go for it. Okay, I brought you right in here close so you can kind of see the shape that's starting to emerge that I'm looking for. The widest diameter right about here where we had our pencil line drawn, and tapered down to much narrower at the bottom. I've got a section here that I've left flat. I'm going to work on a little lip for that once we've got it turned around. I don't think I can do much with it this close to the chuck. So it might be when we turn it around for hollowing, we'll kind of work on this top lip section a little bit. It'll need to be faced off, and then just give us a little tiny lip there, and then we'll hollow it out. I don't want this opening to be too small, because like I said, I don't have anything to get some good hollowing up under the lip. So I don't want to create a space that I can't hollow right now. So the opening is going to be much wider. It's almost like a squat vase, I guess, really, that we're coming up with. But yeah, there's going to be some good figure in this ambrosia maple. We have a lot of tear out right now because I haven't done anything to try and keep these cuts smooth. I'm going to get out another tool to get rid of this end grain tear out here. You might be able to see it on camera. There's a lot right here. It's pretty bad, but we should be able to get rid of that with a cupped carbide tool. And here where we're not on the end grain, we're on the side grain, it's actually very smooth. A few ridges to get rid of, because like I said, I just kind of roughed this out real quick. but we'll smooth that out. Then down here, of course, is our tenon that in the end we'll have to take care of, and we'll do that at the end. So we're actually looking really good, and this is roughed out quickly. That square carbide bit really takes away a lot of material fast. So I'm going to work on smoothing this out. Okay, I brought the camera back around where it was before. So here I am with my cupped carbide tool, a shear cutting finisher, and I'm going to try and smooth this out. A couple of tool ridges from the square cutter, the rougher, and all this end grain tear out. I'm going to try and get rid of all this stuff. And it looks like we have maybe one little crack here that we'll have to fill. We'll see how that goes as we smooth this out. I might have to put some CA glue in that. Just going to adjust my tool rest around. And here we go. Okay, let me catch you up with what I've done here. So there are a few spots of this wood that are a little, I think the phrase is punky. It's just kind of soft in the end grain, and it doesn't want to go down. Once you cut real light through the end grain, and what you get is some more rough end grain underneath it. So what I did, on top of a whole bunch of sanding, I also just gave it a good coat of shellac to harden things up a little bit on the end grain so that the sanding would work a little better and it wouldn't just lay down the other way each time I changed directions. I'd say the sanding's not perfect on this, and maybe I should do a whole bunch more, but it's actually not bad, and I think it's going to look pretty good. But then I went ahead and turned it around here in the jaws of the chuck so we can hollow out the inside. So let me get my tools ready and we'll do that. Okay, we're all set up here. We're going to go ahead and use the round carbide tool cutter here with the tool rest set so it's right on center line. Okay, we're getting closer here. I just wanted to show you with a good, solid steel bar that's pretty thick here. I can get pretty far over the tool rest into this hollowing. I have a nice long handle on this tool for good leverage also. I'm a few inches over the tool rest. I'm not having any real problems here. Still have to hold on tight though. Working on the thickness of the wall here up under the lip. It's still a little thick. Oh, that's getting a lot better actually. Well, I have some bad news. I had the camera off and just kept on hollowing. It looks like the crack that I'd worked on the outside was a little deeper than I thought. So we had some catastrophic failure here. It was coming along pretty well actually. Not too much more to go. A little shaping of the lip, a little deeper, maybe a quarter of an inch deeper, and some shaping of the inside here. When we had some pieces go flying off. I mean, it happens. Luckily, I was wearing safety gear It didn't actually hit me since I was in the hollowing phase. I was standing well out of the line of fire. And to tell you the truth, it didn't fly off very spectacularly. There were a few pieces that, that I gathered up from the floor. They didn't fly very far. So I've seen much worse as far as pieces coming apart on the lathe. But it does remind me to make sure I'm wearing safety equipment, because you can't promise which direction this stuff is going to fly off. But yeah, this chunk is down, pretty close to the base. So we're going to call this piece a loss. It really is a nice piece. You can see some good spalting, a nice ambrosia flavor to this maple, some inclusions and wormholes here and there that would have been interesting after a walnut oil finish or something like that added. And I really did like the shape that I'd come up with. So I may try this shape again with some other wood if I can get my hands on a piece that looks like it ought to come out this way. But, you can't win them all, and every now and then you lose a piece on the lathe, and that's what we did today. So we're going to call this one a loss, and we'll try another piece next week. Not a big deal. You win some, you lose some, and I think everybody's had some that have gone south, either by themselves or because of problems with the wood or because of mistakes we've made. I've broken bowls before, or I think we've all gone through the bottom of the bowl a time or two and made funnels instead of bowls. Everybody's done that. So this one's done, but thanks for joining me this week, and maybe next week we'll have a little more success with something. All right, thanks everybody.